It's the anti-checker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulties.
What is going on, YouTube? Michael J. Crawford, the anti-checker here. And, wow, a lot of instant feedback to the title of today's live stream. Thank you all. And that noise is just the coffee pot. I didn't quite get my coffee ready before starting the show. Stupid of me. But Mr. Thomas Potts is first in the house. Thank you so much. Mystique LeBeau. Man, I keep saying LeBeau lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. Very quick second. And Thomas immediately follows up with, no, don't change your name. Bradley says, hell no. Wow. Life with Matthew says, good morning. Cinnabon is in the house, says morning. Commander Shran says hello. Dan23 says hey. Vile Mike says howdy. Thomas says Michael is gender fluid. Okay. And let's see. Oh, and look, so chat is starting to pop up now on there, although it doesn't look right. And yes, Thomas, you can super chat now. I'm testing the functionality of the Streamlabs stuff. So you notice that the tip jar is there, and so we'll see what happens in just a minute. BIRDOPREY says Antrick is going to change his name to BIRDOPREY 4. Definitely not in the plans. However, you see, the reason I was thinking about changing the name of the channel is I know, YouTube has not said anything about my channel name or icon being inappropriate. However, at the same time, I'm just trying to figure out what can I do to fight all the crap that is going on right now. No pun intended. And Josh Street says, what's in a name? Does a turd still smell like a turd if it is called a rose? That is true. Says, change your name to Sebastian. Dr. Alex says, no, don't change the name. It's awesome. Thank you, my friend. Vile Mike says that Vile Mike is, in fact, already taken. Well, unfortunately for me, that is true. And let's see. Anti-Drecky. I don't think that would quite work. Yes, you should change your name to Poo Poo Sniffer and your intro, hello, I'm Poo Poo Sniffer. I don't think that would quite work, Black Adam. Thomas says, R.I.P. Ross Perot. I did not hear Ross Perot had passed away. And Thomas Potts puts $1.99 through Super Chat. And check this out. Check this out. BIRDOPREY also put $2 in. And look at them turds dropping into the tip jar. Holy crap, it actually worked. I pulled it off, well, so to speak. And it's kind of funny because even though BIRDOPREY donated first, Thomas came up first on there because obviously Streamlabs knows who the real supporters are. And Chris throws $5 in. Thank you, $5 Canadian dollars. Unfortunately, the little system doesn't denote that it's fake Canadian money, it just says CA. But thank you, Chris. So we'll get to that in just a second. So, Karoga forever is what BIRDOPREY says. He does not request a super chat because he doesn't deserve one. We all know that. But meanwhile, Thomas throws $1.99 and says, down with Karoga number 21. Hector says, is that dog even alive? I know, she is. She really is. Come on, do something here. Show them that you're alive. Come on, girl. Yes, she's alive, I promise. What's number 21? Let me get that for you, my friend.
And there, borg. It is with cooking with the pork and the pork. The guy with the go, and we do to make the kelp go. is bring out the kelp.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, kelp, I get it in the pot.
Get in the pot here.
And then Louise the third stir the kelp. That's a good kelp.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the classic. And now, unfortunately, okay, there's the I guess the tip jar just refills whenever we go back in there. So let's see. Darren said, took me a long time to warm up to your channel because all the poop gags reminded me too much of Mr. Hanky and the Christmas poo, which I found tasteless, and that's why I don't watch South Park. South Park is tasteless, but it's also very, very profound at times. Matt says, no, don't change it. But if you were going to, what are you thinking? I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, I was thinking like just go completely as inoffensive as I could, like call this the Fluffy Kitten channel or something. But you know, it's just really, really annoying that I even have to think about that. I like the name, but finances are more important. I know, Tuvok, and the problem is that I don't know if the name... I mean, I know some people, like, for example, my good friend Captain Foley over at Trekyard said that, you know, for a long time, he didn't want to check out my channel because it was called the Anti-Trekker, so he just assumed that I hated Star Trek. Well, that's a logical assumption, actually, but yeah, I need to figure out something. Maybe you should change it to Antifa Trekker to appease the overlords. Yeah, that would probably do it. Doomcock has the problem, of course, but Doomcock, you see, his channel name is Overlord DVD, so that's a bit less innocuous there. Thomas says, I did mine all in caps, so it's true. That's well, then Mercer must always be speaking the truth there. That's Wakanda Forever. Get it right. Oh, man. Yes, so Kuroga Forever is, in fact, incorrect. It should be Wakanda Forever. Now, I do see, as far as the chat thing down there, I need to work on that. It doesn't quite pop out, so it's hard to read, but it's also inoffensive. I like that it's not, like, taking up a ton of room. So I like the size of it, but we need some, like a dark background or something to make it so you can read it. And Black Adam says, thank you for giving Mr. Miles a new soundbite. Well, hopefully he won't listen. Now, Chris throws his 5 fake Canadian dollars in. Thank you, Chris, so much. And says, your name is as iconic as Kirk, Spock, or Bones. Never changed. Thank you so much, Chris. Not true at all, but thank you. I do appreciate it. And that's the thing. I love the name Anti-Trekker. And when I get into, if I ever hit 10,000 subs, if I get into... the reason for the name Anti-Trekker, I think it makes a lot of sense. But I also, you know, it's kind of like, it is its own unique brand for sure. The problem is it's not a very popular brand. So there is that. In seriousness, I wonder how many see the name and think you're against Star Trek. That's the problem, John, and that's what I actually do fear, is the channel growth hindered by the name of the channel? You know, a lot of people, including Darren, Mr. Miles, and others, have all said, you know, maybe you shouldn't be called anti-anything if you... But it's tough, because now I do like... I mean, I can't change my YouTube channel to Trekker. That wouldn't make any sense, and that wouldn't be accurate. Anti-Trekker is an accurate description of me, which we'll get into eventually. So I don't know what to do. As far as that's concerned, I want to be able to grow the channel, but it seems like at every turn, YouTube wants to do everything they can to impede me. So yeah. Dan says, I changed the name of my channel to Dan23, but sometimes my old name still comes up certain web addresses to my channel. Well, yeah, that's a funny thing too, is that if you do change the name of the channel and somebody searches for your own channel, at least for a while, it'll still pop up your channel. Chrono says, wow, Checker, you eat turds now? No. Those are candies. See? Yeah. Changing my name was difficult on YouTube, ended up having a space in it. Yeah. 20 hours of sleep, exhausted little auntie. Yeah, I don't know how she sleeps as much as she did. It does. Thomas says, some of the turds didn't make it into the jar. Yeah, I know. I don't understand. But hey, I still like the idea that the animation works. Vile says, does anyone actually own the rights to a turd logo or symbol? I don't think so, because the turd emoji is kind of universal. I think you can own a specific rendition of the turd emoji, and mine is quite unique. I mean, mine is pretty recognizable. So, yeah. Vile says, as iconic as that one YouTuber and that other person on YouTube and that guy who does YouTube videos. Thanks. Name idea, chocolate pudding. Yes, I could change it to chocolate pudding and leave the icon the same. Or just call it soft serve. Ooh, that might not be a not bad name. Soft serve, because we serve you, I don't know. I think more positive theme for your channel name and theme would benefit you. I know, Darren, but, I need something that would be me. That's the problem. You own your own turds, I believe. Yes, I think that's a fair way to put it, Derek. Classic Trekker, perhaps? Yeah, but that doesn't, ring... I don't know. It doesn't... The problem is all the good names are taken. You think of things like the Nerdist or something like that. Obviously, that stuff is taken. So I got to think of something. I was actually just thinking about renaming the channel to something like the Nerd Community, because that's kind of what we are. But I don't know. I did think you were against Star Trek initially when I first heard the name, but like the Angry Video Game Nerd, after hearing Gary at Nerdotic discuss you, I had to check you out. Well, thank you, Roxanne. And I know that's the problem. A lot of people think that I am just against Trek because of the name. And I don't like that. Second Fleet says, the only reason you're being throttled is not because of your name. It's because you are right of Mao. That's unfortunately true. But I think that gives them more excuses. RMP, only if your name is Mud. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean there, RMP. Are you saying change my name only? My name is Mud? Demo Gorgon Zola, which, wow, you got, that doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but it says chocolate. Yes, from your earlier comment. Yes, I got it. Gummy turds. Yes, so now you can see gummy turds fall into my tip jar anytime you super chat. Or actually, I think it's supposed to do it if I get a new subscriber as well, but then the chocolate turd actually drops. Soft Serve Trekker has a ring to it. Enter name idea, the YouTuber formerly known as the Anti-Trekker. That does not exactly roll off the tongue, does it? The Turd Master, Anti-STD, Anti-Turder, Anti-Steve Shives. Yeah, that would be getting a little specific. Steve could actually, and he would be right to do so, he could actually file a complaint against my channel as being harassment towards him. How about the Picard emoji, since he played the poop in the movie? That's actually not a bad idea. And Mrs. Anti-Trekker is here saying a quick good morning to everybody. Hey, babe. You need more content, lore, and theories, as well as reviews and articles. I agree with you there, and that's actually something that even as we speak, well, I don't know if he's doing it this very moment, but Mr. Miles is actually working on a different kind of video that you may appreciate, Black Adam. Trek Chat with Herman Schmeckelback. Roxal's given the remember to go to live chat reminder, so don't forget. Oh, and Josh just donated $1. Thank you so much, Josh. And here comes the turd to be dropped into, well, 3 turds it looks like to be dropped into the jar. And thank you so much. Got to get them candies in there. And by the way, the turds are color-coded, just so you know. And so let's see. Breaking Disney, just breaking news. I see Disney just bought all turds. Oh man. I like Nerd Community, says Matt. All hail Pooh, says Dan. Binar 1001, there's a nice name for the channel. Well, except that nobody would get that except for big fans of the Binars, which there aren't that many. Kronos is saying hi to Mrs. Anti-Trekker, so is Josh. Tim Christ, saw you through the name, realized in the first viewing that I felt anti-trekker meant you were against where Trek is going. That is a better assessment of the name than most have, Tim. But unfortunately, most people just see the name and they assume that I stand firmly against Trek, which is incorrect. And I have to be realistic here. The way that YouTube is deplatforming things, I've got to be more aggressive about growing the channel. And so I have to think realistically, is the name anti-trekker a hindrance to that? If it is, what would be a good name to replace it with? The website will still be called antitrekker.com, at least for the time being, because I don't want to have Joe change everything there. But yeah. And I'll probably still call myself the anti-trekker for at least the time being. Let's see. On a mobile, what writing comes up on this top screen small? The writing that popped up is like if somebody puts a super chat or something like that, it just says who it was and how much they gave. I just registered Nerd Community as a channel name, but I'll sell it to you for $1 billion. Well, Rock Solid, you're jerk. Egotastic gripe time instead of egotastic fun time. Oh, man, you guys are just mean. And there's Josh Streets $1. Thank you so much, Josh. If you do want a super chat, let me know, my friend, and I will play it for you. If you remove Ecker and change to UMP, YouTube will suggest your videos. That's true. Thomas, that is true. Anti-Trekker, the Underlord videos. The Underlord instead of the Overlord. That's interesting. The Next Flush. Well, that's an interesting one. Bradley says, my question is, after you change your name, what do you change next to fit their perfect little algorithm? When do you become the thing you hate? That's another problem, yes. Bradley, is that I don't want that, obviously. But I'm not talking about changing what I do or how I behave as much as just trying to, because the problem is that I think anti-trekker is a perfect name for this channel. The problem is that a lot of people see the name anti-trekker and they're just like, oh, well, I don't want anything to do with that. And let's see, anti-trekker, let Mrs. Anti-trekker pick. Well, yeah, I guess I could. Although she, I don't know what she would pick. My name is Portmanteau of Demogorgon from D&D, the cheese Gorgonzola. Wow. Well, that is even harder for me to try and say, so I'm just going to call you Zola for right now. And so Trek number 2. What about Me Poo? Well, Me Poo could be seen, and I actually considered that for a minute there. But the problem I had with Small Yoda with Me Poo is the idea that could be seen as a insult or mockery of the Me Too movement, and then YouTube would in fact flag me as hate speech. And RMP threw a couple of euros in. Thank you so much. And you can see there go the turds dropping into the bucket. So thank you so much. I do truly appreciate it. And we'll get to your comment in just a minute. Mike Richards says, anti-trekker, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. I also like Nerd Community. I kind of like Nerd Community, and I could still be the anti-trekker of the Nerd Community, and that's why I could keep my name the same, even if the channel name, kind of like Doomcock and Overlord DVD. That's kind of what I was thinking of with that. The next castration, I like that. The name change is not going to do anything with YouTube's algorithms. It's not the name. You want to grow the channel, you need more videos and less live streams. Well, Tentacle, I agree with you on that. I do need more videos, less live streams. I'm working on it as best I can. The biggest problem I have right now, Tentacle, is that a combination of the pain in my back and the medications I'm at make it very difficult for me to actually get anything done. And you can ask Mrs. Anti-Trekker, I'm driving her nuts because I'm sitting up here for hours at a time staring at the screen getting nothing done, and it's absolutely driving me nuts. Thomas says Michael Trekker. Well, that doesn't quite have a nice ring to it or anything. Rocksol says, love you too, buddy. Changing the website name isn't a big deal. Just buy a domain name before you announce the new name. Oh, okay. I still say you need to change the name to AOC for POTUS 2020, and you'll get in the front page of YouTube immediately. You're probably right, but that would be... in fact, the ironic thing is that if I did something like that, then YouTube would come down on me for being clickbait, and they would be correct. The Thing, says Dan. Well, okay, that would be interesting. RMP with his €2 says, here you go, Ed Trigger. I have a couple of these and a couple of beer emojis on me. Thank you so much, RMP. I truly appreciate it. Although I don't know how it is in your country. However, here in the United States, €2 is not going to buy you 2 beers. At least not beers that you would want to drink. I changed my YouTube name because I didn't want my real name appearing. Yeah, I can understand. A lot of people do that after a while, so yeah. Darren says, Antricker, Trek Tip Jar, Warped Drive, Chick Magnet, The Kirk Maneuver, Transporter Chief, Trek Colony, Deep Space Mine. That's not bad. Memory Omega, or maybe Final Frontiersman. That's some good ones there, Darren. John DeMarco says Trek Ranter. We see that again has a negative connotation to it. And keep in mind, by the way, I know Tentacle and a couple others pointing out that's not going to help the algorithm. This is not about the algorithm. This is about when people see the name of the channel, getting them to actually be willing to click on it and watch the video, as opposed to, saying, oh, this guy's a jerk just from the name. A lot of people see a YouTube channel called Anti and they think it's propaganda against something and don't like to follow. Exactly, Dan, and that's why I'm considering this. Why the F am I constantly getting that dang BRA commercial ad on YouTube? I don't know. You're getting a and Orville Nation threw $2 into the chat. Thank you so much, Orville. I do appreciate it. And there, drop the turds into the bucket, because that's where turds belong. Actually, I should have changed this to be like a toilet. That would have been funny. Dropping turds in the toilet. Thank you, my friend. And I'll get to your comment in just a minute. I don't know why you're seeing that bra commercial, Captain Spire. Maybe you've been shopping for bras too much. This is like you're trying to determine what YouTube gods are pleased with science and arguaries. The problem with any religion is that you don't know what the gods want from you. Well, that's not necessarily always true. We can get into the philosophy and theology behind that, but I'm not worried about pleasing the YouTube gods. If they cut me off, there's nothing I can do about it. There is absolutely no way I can fight Google. That being said, if I make the channel more appealing to people who see the name, that could help. And so that's why I'm seriously considering changing the name of the channel. I'm leaning towards the nerd community because that's something that we've talked about many times on this channel and something I believe in. And then that would also make sense for the website name as well. Okay, Zola was a famous writer. Well, that's good. Then you already share a good name. Rambling Canuck is here, says, hello, Antricker and all in the chat. Good to see you. Tim says, call it the Star Trek channel, and you can still call yourself the Anti-Tricker. It keeps your reverse psychology in check. Well, the Star Trek channel, the funny thing is that, people might confuse that for being something official, but I kind of like that. That could actually work. But the problem is that not everything I do is Star Trek. So I don't, if I call it something that specific, Star Trek channel, that means that this channel is dedicated to Star Trek. So when I start talking about Star Wars or Stargate SG-1 or something like that, then people are going to say, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a Star Trek channel. And that can work for you, like for channels like Star Wars Only and stuff like that. But it can also work against you if you want to be able to branch off into other areas. How about sticking with your TNN and make Trekker News Network? That's actually not a bad idea either. Tennessee Trekker, says Darren. Well, then people think I'm a Southern redneck or something, which not that I have a problem with rednecks, but you know, that's not the type of channel this is. Bye all, have fun, says Mrs. Anti-Tricker. Take care, my dear. And then I just got lost. Nerdrotic, the next generation. Anti-algorithm. That wouldn't get you into trouble. No, not at all. Trolita's in the house. You can upload clips from your live streams in separate, shorter videos. I see a lot of channels that do that, help their growth. Yeah, well, and actually my live streams are now going to unlisted after the stream for that, because of the algorithm business. And there's, you know, some people don't like that, but if you want to see the back catalog of live streams, you can still get it at antitrekker.com. Perfect name, Spinning Spock. Seriously, that little guy will help your numbers grow. Spinning Spock, the channel. But I am nothing like Spock, though. That's the problem. Let's see. I watch way more live streams than edited videos these days. Well, you know, it's funny because some people like the live streams better. Some people like the edited videos better. I personally like the edited videos better than live streams. I enjoy doing the live streams because you guys help keep me grounded and also, quite frankly, help keep me going. Because not just with the super chats and stuff, but you encourage me, and I need that right now. I genuinely do, because I'm going through, like I said, this last month has been one of the toughest of my entire life, and I'm still dealing with stuff. Still trying to fight the stupid insurance company. I managed to get through to a supervisor yesterday, but now I just got to wait for another couple of days for them to decide what they're going to do. Anti-Tricker Reloaded. Well, that's still not going to help. And quantum, I don't think is the best word. No. Josh Street says, number 8, to remind Mrs. Anti-Tricker that she married a stalker. You got it. And she did.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
There we are. Thank you so much, my friend. I do appreciate that. And let's see. Let's see. He already did that for some time with his article reading rants live. Now they're on their own separate videos. Yes, true. BIRDOPREY says Anti-Tricker is a beer snob. I absolutely am not. I don't drink beer, to be honest with you. So if you could actually get 2 beers for $2, I didn't know that because I thought they were more expensive. Another name, Aunt May Naked Time. Well, that would certainly get people like Alexander to subscribe, but I don't know if I want an entire subscription base of people like Alexander. Orville Nation throws that $2 in. I like Nerd Community or something similar. I am definitely leaning towards that right now. We'll see. And of course, if the name changes to Nerd Community, the nice thing about that is the content doesn't have to change at all. Just like with Doomcock, most people don't even know that Doomcock's channel's name is Overlord DVD. They just think that's Doomcock. And so people that know me would call me Anti-Trekker. People that search me out would see the Nerd Community. That's what I like about that. Change your name to Anti-YouTuber. You'll probably gain 1 million subs in one day. I doubt it, and YouTube would probably shut me down. Change your channel name to Broke Help Me, so you introduce yourself as, hi, I'm Broke Help Me. That's not bad. Living Red Shirt. There we go. That's not bad. The Golden Turd. Yes. €2 can buy you one 750cc beer and a bubble gum. Sounds nasty. Darren says Packlid Hunter. Okay, that's interesting. Do Packlid Hunters. We make guns shoot. Dan throws a couple of pills in the chat. Chrono says, you're drowning in turds now, Anti-Trekker. Well, that's the idea. We got to fill up that tip jar. Actually, a fun sound effect for when you get donations. The Austin Powers. Who does number 2 work for? That's not bad. Yeah, that bring is kind of lame. I need to come up with something better for that. I don't know if you can customize that yet. I haven't tried. You have to make it both audible and unforgettable. So something with sci-fi name, like Sci-Fi USA or something. By the way, you can buy 2 beers with €2 in Portugal. 2 mugs, actually. Huh, okay. And Wesley is in the house, says hi. How you doing, Wesley? Agreed. Don't always want my real name open, but easy to figure out with my name with some effort. Hell, Anti-Tricker and BIRDOPREY know it because they receive stuff from the store. Well, that's true. And you know, I've kind of gotten to the point where, you know, I've had my name out there on the internet for a long, long time, and so far nobody showed up to kill me. By the way, you promised to reveal why you originally picked that name after a heavy sub count, as I recall. Would you reveal it sooner after eventual name change? Possibly, yes. Since if I change it to something like the nerd community, I may go ahead and do that video about why I call myself the anti-checker, or I may just still wait until 10,000. And 10,000 isn't that far away if we can just stop the crap that YouTube's doing. Evening all, just got home. Good to see you, Peter. John, the former peasant, is here, says the Grand Nerdist. I like that, but it's a little too niche. You have to, you know, like even a lot of Star Trek fans, if you say that, might not click that it's that you're talking about the Grand Negus. Change it to Superior Prey. There you go. I like it. Wasn't Dr. Zola the evil German scientist who worked for the Red Skull? I think you're right, yes. Armin Zola. Change it, let's see, AT-AT. Well, that's just too easy. Let's see. Wesley says, I built a rocket to make it to the moon. And I built a rocket to make it to the moon. Yeah, Built it all legit, did you, Wesley? How many of my things did you grind down to get the raw materials? Let's see. Antrigger, oh god, no, Antrigger is way better than Nerd Community. Well, you see, that's the problem, Tiki. I love the name Anti-Checker, but I'm wondering if it's hindering me. Giant Francisco Zola was a great footballer. I had never heard of Giant Franco Zola. Trek Wars. Okay, and then Darren suggests structural integrity. Nerd news with Naked Aunt May. Of course, what's with Naked Aunt May? That's proper football, not hand egg American rugby. Well, Peter, you can have that. Tiki says, Nerd Community sounds boring as F. It's like calling your channel Mundane Matt. Don't do it. I typed Trek Star in reverse deliberately, not Star Trek. It's Trek Star. Okay, I must have misread it. I apologize. Speaking of which, I did not send a news story to the email address because I follow rules and don't say check Discord. Well, thank you, Rock Solid. I appreciate that. And that all goes to Mr. Miles, who then filters through it and helps me pick what we're going to actually produce. Waste extraction. That really is gonna get a lot of people to want to subscribe. Sci-fi Trekker. Well, Trekker kind of goes along. I mean, like if you say Trekker and you know what a Trekker is, you don't have to say sci-fi. Channel names, Anti-Trekker. How about Verdict Trekkies Religious Bants? That is interesting, Peter, but I don't think that would be work. Perfect name, Trekker TPG, the previous generation. I prefer edited videos because I think the quality is vastly superior. I agree, Rock Solid. I do, but and so, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not gonna lie. I wish that I was better about getting the stuff out, but it's been difficult to say the least. Self-sealing stem bolts. That is about as specific a reference as you can get and still keep it within Star Trek. I prefer live streams mainly because I like hearing you respond to the stupid crap I write. Well, I appreciate that. And so, you know, and that's the thing. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys keep me going. So thank you. You skipped my comment. So to repeat, how about changing it to because quantum? That actually, I could see that because quantum. For turd news. Okay. Lick the like button, folks. Can't hurt, can it? Well, technically it could if the like button was electrified, but please do hit that like button because that does hopefully help if YouTube will allow it to. Let's see. Hail Hydra? Okay. Sci-fi Macerator movie. What? And RMP put another €2 in. Thank you so much. And says, how about Red Squirt? That sci-fi guy. RMP. That is horrible. That's absolutely. Especially if you knew all the health issues I was going through, that would be a horrible thing to say. I don't like anything with community in it because the root word is commune. Well, now you're getting a little bit much. I'm sorry, because you got, I mean, I understand that commune and community are related in terms, but, but the nerd community doesn't mean communistic, right? It doesn't mean that we're trying to build a commune and yeah. Before you change your name, check how many people already have it on YouTube. Well, that's true. Let me see. If we bring up a new YouTube window, let's do this. We'll switch over here. And search the nerd community. Well, there is a channel called Nerd Community that has 228 subscribers. And that's it. Oh, here's another Nerd Community that has 14 subscribers. Let's go to filter and just type channel. All right. So 228, 14, Film Nerd, Nerdity, Nerd Community, 1 subscriber. Wow, 1 subscriber. He's got 4 videos. Someone needs to help him. The League of Nerds has 6,000 subs. So there are a couple of nerd community channels. None of them have any kind of significant number of subscribers. And here come the turds dropping into the jar. Well, most of them. All right. And let's see, where was I? Sci-Fi Stallone? How does that make any sense? Nerd Nation? 2 beers, $2. Sounds like a quality product, exactly. Nerd community is just so bland and boring, no one would click on it. Well, see, that's, I don't know. Nerd Colony sounds better than Nerd Community, says Darren. Darth Maul says the Nerd Nation keeps TNN. That's true. The Nerd Nation would be TNN. That's an interesting way to put it. Let's see. This would be a good name for me, but Space Nerd Guy. United Federation of Nerds. Which Aunt May, though? Well, Peter, I think the one that they want to see make naked is one from the Sam Raimi films. Schromer says, when I heard of your channel first, I did think it implied a negative bias towards Trek. I know that is not true. How about Captain's Log? You can keep your emoji and it still fits the content. Strix Nebuloso throws $2 into the chat. Thank you so much. I don't know that I've ever heard from you before, at least not based on the name. And so thank you. I will get to your chat in just a second here. The Nerd Nation said, I'm not a fan of nerd or geek names. Too Big Bang Theory for me. Well, that's the problem. Is that the funny thing is that the nerd community is a real thing. It's what we're part of. But now the terms like nerd and geek have been co-opted as marketing tools by these huge shill sites, by TV shows and stuff like that. So that's the problem we run into is that we really are, we're being basically hijacked, and we need to take back our community. I do like the Captain's Log idea, though, Schromer. Let's see. Nerd Nation sounds good. I'm not a fan of nerd or geek and names. Read that. Change to Starch Racker or Anti-Tracker. Nerds Anonymous. Admiral Villar says, greetings. How you doing? Some YouTube channels have space in their name and some do not. Would yours have a space in your name? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I hadn't thought about it to that detail, Dan. Right now I'm trying to figure out what name I would do. Red Shirts Anonymous. I like that one, Mystique. Let's see. And there's an RMP, of course, suggesting Red Squirt. That is the worst name possible. Quantum Force 5. I like that. Los Nerdos Hermanos, Trekzilla, Flat Earth Trekker. Oh, wait, that's mine. Holodeck Warrior, Warp Speed Specialist, Balance of Error. I like Balance of Error. And thank you, Orville Nation throws $5 in, knocking around some of them red turds, dropping a couple of yellow turds in there. Thank you so much, my friend, and I'll get to your comment in just a minute. You guys have been so kind. I truly appreciate it. Mrs. Anti-Checker Fan Club. Well, aren't we all fans of Mrs. Anti-Checker? Nerdist is already a channel. Yes, unfortunately. There are a number of nerd community channels. Yeah. Luke is in the house, says, Antrick, I agree with Vile Mike here. Because Quantum sounds really good, maybe you could leech some of the Because Science viewers by proxy. I didn't even think about that, because, yeah, Because Science is a pretty significant channel. He does some good stuff, but a little overly produced, in my opinion. There's another Rock Solid out there, but it's some German dental implant or something. That's funny. Sonic Showers Are Us? That's weird. Star Trek Matters with your bot, Auntie. Okay. Why don't you use your legal name as your channel name? Well, that's kind of boring. I mean, if I just call the channel Michael J. Crawford, and in fact, I think that was my first YouTube channel was just called Michael J. Crawford. Nerd Turd is a pretty solid option. Nerd-otastic ego time. Now, I'm not going to rip off somebody else's name. You get the Nerd News Network, and they have no subs at all. You could get the Nerd News Network. They have no subs at all. Well, there is a Nerd News Network, and they have 0 subs. I'm sorry. Nerd community is so generic that it's offensive. Wow. Sci-Fi Guy's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Says, good morning, Antrick and fellow nerds. Thank you. And then Strix with his $2 super chat, or I shouldn't assume your gender, says, the nerd community anarcho-capitalist. I am not an anarcho-capitalist. Quantum Trekker. Thomas says 200,000 subs isn't significant. What are you talking about? I would love to have 200,000 subs. I don't think any of the channels that I looked at, though, had 200,000 subs. Change your name to Heisenberg. Say my name! Well, I could do that. But, yeah, that would be weird. Tim, I'm not even a big fan of that show. So, call the channel the People's Trek Army or the Commonwealth of Geeks. Maybe the Brotherhood of Trek or the Nerd Institute. You know, I always liked, I used to have a sticker on my car back in the day that was for BIT, Borg Institute of Technology. RMP suggests, shut up, Wesley. Paris's Squares? Okay. Uh-oh, I'm Matthew Baylock. I've been here as I could be. Oh, okay. And let's see. Let's see. Actually, just call the channel Never Give Up, Never Surrender. How about the Pakled Chronicles? Well, that's an interesting one. Because the Borg only assimilate the useful. Okay. That was a little out of context. Red Shirt Tardigrade. What about dork? That word has been taken by shills yet, and that means a whale penis. Well, I don't. So you want me to call myself a whale penis? Whale penis? Wow. I mean, wow. Night Breeze in the house says, good morning, Anti-Checker. How you doing, Night Breeze? Lo-fi sci-fi. Well, I'm trying not to be lo-fi. Darmak and Jalad on YouTube. I like it, but again, very, very specific. The Captain's Mess. Dude, that's it, because you're the captain of the ship, and it's a pretty big mess. That's true. Oh, man. I would say leave the name. It is an established brand, and I think it would have the same effect if they tried to change the name of Coke. You're probably right, but I wanted to, I don't know. I want to see what you guys thought of it. And it seems like, obviously the gut reaction from a lot of you is don't change the name. And then a lot of you come up with some very creative names that would get me in a whole lot more trouble. BIRDOPREY 5, that is, of course, a wonderful name. How about Anti-Trekker? I think someone suggested that already. Wesley said, how about the Faithful Trekker? As opposed to the Anti-Trekker? The Job Hippo. Yes. Yes, I should call myself the Job Hippo in honor of that one troll. People looking for Michael Crawford may want the actor. Yes, and that's why I always call myself Michael J. Crawford, because Michael Crawford is obviously a known actor already. And B, I just didn't like the idea that my name was going to be the same as somebody else and all that. Just take the anti off and you'll be fine. But that would be inaccurate. That's the problem. DS Turd. Okay. Says, couldn't resist. No, I like it. Job Hippo would be hilarious. Heisenberg says, someone say my name. Yes, we did. Shaka, when the walls fell. Turd Rodic, total ripoff, and you get strange chunk of upset fetish community. Nerd Community has 200,000 subs. I see, when I search for Nerd Community, I see 228 subs, 14 subs on one, and 1 sub on another. I don't see the one that you're seeing. The sort of problem that Fraser Kane has, Antitrigger, from Universe Today, not Cheers. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. The square thing I typed was supposed to be the name of a sport in Star Trek. Dan, I'm not sure what you mean either. Wait, what about the poo continuum, a playoff Q continuum? Well, that's an interesting way to do it. Assimilation Nation, I kind of like that. Call it Universe Today instead of USA Today. You can call it Data's Day. What? No. Wow, Anti didn't call me a jerk for being a smart aleck. I'm disappointed. Sorry, Walk Solid. My, jerk meter is a little messed up because of the medications I'm on. Inside Out Pig Lizard. Yes. That's true. Just call it the Pig Lizard channel. That would be awesome. Can you give me context for your reflection, the reason that made you think about changing the name? Well, Luke, to be honest with you, people have been suggesting it for a while. And mainly because the problem with my username is with anti at the beginning of it. Some people think that the channel is an anti-Star Trek channel. Most notably, Captain Foley for a while refused to watch my videos, not realizing that I was actually very much in favor of Star Trek. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I can get more subscribers if I don't have a name that implies I hate Star Trek. So that's kind of where it came from. Has nothing to do with the YouTube algorithm, because I already know that will not make any difference. AT Trekker, the anti-Picarder. Wow, that's getting awful specific. I don't hate... In fact, I think Picard was the best part of The Next Generation. I just think that he was kind of a bigot in the first couple of seasons. Just add another anti to your name. Wouldn't that make it a positive then? Yes. Anti moved, you didn't suffer her. I didn't see her move. Darn, she did move. You're right. If you're going to do this, then just do the untrekker. That could actually work. But then welcome to the Untrekker channel. I'm the anti-trekker. Yeah. New name, Feet Wet ASMR. Wow. Fish Talk. Well, that would be like for the live streams, maybe. What about the Chubby Trekker? What, are you trying to say something there, Nick? Huh? Nick? Admiral says, DS Turd, a nice handle for Discord. Dis Turd, yes. How about I drink and I know nerdy things? That's the channel name. I drink and I know nerdy things. I'm your host, the Anti-Tracker. Exploding Pig Lizard. Yes, I do like the Exploding Pig Lizard. The High Council with Michael J. Crawford and friends. Well, actually, there is a High Council already, isn't there? And like Midnight's Edge and those guys are part of or something. Fraser Kane from Frasier and Cheers. Actually, it's Fraser Crane, I believe. Captains don't have a mess. They have a cabin. Incidentally, the captain's cabin is a bar in Gibraltar. Well, okay. Did not know that. Uncle Remus says Anti-Tracker Underground. Interesting name. Darth Maul says Parsi Squared. Okay. Looks like I'm late to the party. That's okay, Total Anthony. I appreciate you dropping by. Tiki says the Star Trek V Appreciation Channel. Wow. Anti-Discovery. That would get me banned from YouTube. And there's Fraser Kane from all the astronomy and science channels. Yeah, I don't know that, Fraser. The Captain Fowley Likes Me channel. How about the Positrekker? Done and done. But that would be inaccurate. Says Foley. Luke suggests the A-Trekker. Like, okay, I could see like an abbreviated version of the Anti-Trekker. The only problem with that is that, I mean, well, I guess people would get it after they watched a video, but that might get them to click on the video without knowing the name. That actually is a possibility. How about the Trek critique? Well, again, the problem with that, and I love what you guys are doing, but the problem with the specific the Star Trek references, because keep in mind, while Anti-Trekker is a Star Trek reference, it's a because of the anti in it, and because of the fact that Trekker is a vague enough thing, I can talk about other stuff. But if I start talking, putting very specific Star Trek references in the title, like the Trek Critique sounds like a channel that only critiques Star Trek. The Sci-Fi Standard implies that you're the man. True, but I am not that full of myself. Overlord Trekker, wow, that would... it's funny because when me and Lore Reloaded had a business together, we were trying to get a couple of channels going on YouTube. We called our company Fat Overlords. When I first came across your channel, I thought the same, as if you might like Star Wars or something and dislike Star Trek. Exactly, that's what a lot of people get from that. Alright, and not sure what that is for, but okay. Let's see. When the rock solid Trekker, that's weird. Captain Nerd. I would actually, maybe Captain Dork would fit me better. Welcome Because Quantum with the Anti-Tracker. I like the Because Quantum. That actually, I kind of like that because it does play on Because Science, and that's kind of the excuse for everything in Star Trek Technobabble. Just go with Anti-Bird and you'll be all right. YouTube will see you are anti-evil and send more views. That's true. That could work. Trumper, and then that got removed by Dan. Actually, Star Trek said it. Anti-Trumper, YouTube and Google would put you on the main page, give you personal YouTube contact assistant. You could never do anything wrong in their eyes. Probably right. Ship's head, because all starships are missing a head. The toilet. Let's see. You could call it the best channel ever. Oh, okay. I could see that. The best channel ever. Yes, with your host, Anti-Tracker. I'm actually, at this point, I'm kind of leaning towards the Because Quantum as the name of the channel. Because then I could say, welcome to Because Quantum. I am your host, the Anti-Tracker. And that actually kind of rings okay. Let's see. Spelling it phonetically, squares. I'm still not sure what you're talking about there, Rock Solid. BIRDOPREY says Anti-Tracker won't get the Fairy Squares reference. He doesn't know TNG. I don't know TNG as well as I know TOS or Deep Space Nine for that matter. But I do. I don't get that reference, but I'm sure if I saw the episode, it would come back to me very quickly. City Alpha 5. Okay. Captains in the Navy do indeed have their own mess if the ship is big enough. On most naval ships, however, they eat in the wardroom. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Thank you, Darren. Maybe take the best suggestions and put a vote on antitrekker.com. I may do that. Antitrekker, the ibuprofen years. That's a weird one. Tiki says, does he even watch Star Trek? Yes, I watch Star Trek. Jeez. Antimatter's Core. Riker's Beard with Michael J. Crawford. Alpha, I caught that. I missed it. The name is the sport played by Will Riker. Oh, okay. That's probably why I didn't get it, because whenever Will Riker plays a sport or a game, I tune out. I'm not a big Riker fan. What can I say? I liked Riker in Best of Both Worlds, but most of the time I couldn't stand him. I liked Picard. Let's see. And BIRDOPREY says, only if it was made before 1970. Not true, BIRDOPREY, you jerk. Just call yourself anti-Trump. A million leftists will sub without even knowing what you're about. That's true, but they won't watch the videos, and I need the people to watch the videos in order to be successful. If you call it a Trekker, people may think it also has something to do with the the A-team. That's true. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I don't think that there's that many people thinking about the A-team right now. Alpha Trekker, says BIRDOPREY. Fraser Kane has some great sciencey shorts, Trekker, and there's a weekly magazine on YouTube and in Universe Today. That's cool. Just don't. But Fraser Crane is the psychiatrist from Cheers and the Frasier Show. How about Fake Trekker? Wow, that's kind of mean. The drafting tables, since comics are often illustrated on drafting tables. Well, that's not bad, Rock Solid, except I don't talk about comics that much outside of the MCU. Luke says, Grumpy Trekker. Wow. Mean. Nightbreeze says, Nerd Talk with the Anti-Trekker. Well, Nerd Talk could be the name of the channel. And so, but yeah. Where he's channel can talk about anything. Okay. Because Quantum is the best one I've heard so far. I kind of like Because Quantum. It fits my personality. It's something that I've said many a time. And it does make it so that I can keep my name the same without having to make any changes. Welcome to Because Quantum. This is the Anti-Trekker. A lot of multi-franchise discussion channels come up with completely original name like The Quartering and Junk Ball. That's true. The Quartering and Junk Ball were very successful with that. Unfortunately, I didn't come up with a great name like The Quartering or Junk Ball. More like Captain Marvel Fan Club. Am I right, folks? Wow. Who about Chief Warrant Officer Nerd? Okay. It says 23 in my username because I was born on the 23rd. Well, that's cool. Quantum Trekker. I would too, if I was going to put Quantum in the name, I would probably do Because Quantum rather than imply my name is Quantum Trekker. Because I could be, if the channel is called Because Quantum, I can still be the Anti-Trekker and keep my brand the way it is for the most part. How about Technobabble intro with Spinning Spock? Technobabble is actually, that would be, I wonder if there's any channels called that. I didn't even think about that. Technobabble as the name of the channel. Let's see. We'll try it first with a hyphen. So Technobabble. There's a, let's see if I can find any channels listed under the name. There are a few Technobabble channels. Let's see. One with 600 subscribers, one with 3 subscribers, one with 2 subscribers, one with 2 subscribers, one with 50 subscribers. Let's see, another one with 10, another one with 4. I don't see any major channels with Technobabble for their name. So that could be a possibility. So I like Because Quantum and Technobabble. I actually kind of like Technobabble. That's like, it does sound like it could be a talk show. All right. For what it's worth, I like Because Quantum, says Darren. Overlord Trekker and the Chocolate Factory. The Quantum Collective. Wow. The Nerd Turd. Because Quantum for all things Quantum Leap related. Because Science is taken, is Because Science and Trekker on... Yeah, I know. Lost in Trek. Lation. What? And so, instead of Lost in Translation, Lost in Treklation. Yeah. Yeah, Because Quantum, hosted by the Anti-Trekker. And then Thomas throws a Memory Alpha page out. What's it? Oh, the Ferris, however you say it, Ferris Squares. And let's see. They have like one picture of some people wearing their dorky costumes to go play the game. Let's see. As a rather violent athletic game played by the people for many worlds and ages during the 24th century, its popularity among youth was a concern for parents. And so, let's see, what episode was it in? I'll have to rewatch it sometime. Where, does it even say? List of athletes. Timescape, it looks like. They mentioned the game, and it looks like it's mentioned in a few. I don't know how many, if they ever show the game being played. I'll have to check that out. Quantum Realities. Riker was a big player in the Enterprise D's team. Well, that's cool, but completely off topic. Let's see, where was I? Man, I just got completely lost. Riker sucks after Best of Both Worlds. I tend to agree, Darren. How about anti-Wheaton? Pro-sedentary instead of anti-trekker. Got it. Com channels open. Phaser Lock. Marvelous Trekker combines comics and Trek. Of those, I like Com channels open and Phaser Lock. MJ Trekker. Lore loaded. I don't think Lore Reloaded would appreciate that. Because Quantum, that's the money right there, got my vote. Yeah, I think Because Quantum is kind of taken over here. Pro sitting. Storybirds are often done on draft. That's true. What about hailing frequencies? I like hailing, but I'll bet you there's probably 8 million hailing frequencies channels. Let's find out. Let's see. All right, hailing frequencies. And, well, there's a lot of videos called hailing frequencies. And let's go to channels. Actually, I'm surprised. Nothing. So hailing frequencies seems wide open, which is kind of surprising to me. Let's see. Hey guys, Anti-Trekker, I sent you a package. Look for it. Very cool, Chief. I can't wait. I don't know what it is, but I can't wait. And I have to go to the post office. I don't know if there's anything there now. But I'm also very much looking forward to some mead from Dr. Alex. So, yippee. How about Get Off My Lawn? Jerk. Fraser Crane still gets his name mistaken for Crane. I'm not surprised. I was going to say USS Quantum, but not because... but Because Quantum is way better. Yeah, I do think Because Quantum is good. Trekker, Anti-Trekker Reactor, a play on matter, antimatter reactor. I could see that, but that would mean I'd need to have a co-host for that. Quantum Heap. Junkball needs to make more stuff. I don't follow that channel, so I don't know. But Quartering, I think that he does some good stuff. I would love to have a channel like his. Respect my authority. If because quantum is chosen, can I get a wrench? Well, you have to talk to Captain George. He is the person who authorizes wrenches. Darren, you shocked me. Come back to when the U.S. Navy has similar histories Come back when the U.S. Navy has a similar history to the Royal Navy. Okay. Alpha Trekker fits, if you ask me. But you see, here's the thing. Alpha Trekker's not a bad sounding name, but it doesn't fit me. And you'll understand that better once I do reveal why I call myself Anti-Trekker. And plus, how can anti still be anti if I'm alpha? Then I'd have to change her name again. Peter likes Technobabble. I like Technobabble too. So basically, here's what I'll tell you guys where I'm at right now. Is I'm liking Because Quantum, Technobabble, and Hailing Frequencies, because none of those just describe me as much as just the venue. Another way to back the Because Quantum one, it both ties in with Trek and the MCU now, thanks to Ant-Man. That's true. Elcar's interface with extra quantum starring Michael J. Quantum. The King of Turds. Wow, that'll get me into the fetish video category, I think. You need to hurry up and take Because Quantum before some jackhole swipes it. Matrix something. How about Anomaly? Anomaly by itself doesn't say much, though. Going to change my name to maybe Anti-Wesley Crusher or Wesley Space Engineers. Vulcan Nerd Pinch. Not bad. Captain Crawford. Well, again, I don't know. As awesome as it would be to think of myself as Captain Crawford, like Captain Foley, I think of myself as the Anti-Trekker. Anti-Trekker's nerd community? Nerd community I kind of like, but I think that the Because Quantum and Hailing Frequencies, and now I'm forgetting what was the other one that I liked. Oh geez, I'm losing it. Because Quantum, Hailing Frequencies, and there was another one that I liked, and I'm completely spacing it now. Help me. Oh, Technobabble. So let me, how about Mrs. Anti-Trekker's hubby? And let's see. Galaxy's Edge is a flop, says Mercer. I have heard that. But yes, I haven't, but I'm not surprised considering right now Star Wars is kind of dead to the hardcore fans. And, Kathleen Kennedy can him and haw about the loud, toxic fandom all she wants, but those loud, toxic fans are the ones that show up at amusement parks. The bearded, angry Trekker. Just trying to rip off everything. Let me get... let's see. How about Deck 42, a Trek channel? Not sure why I would call myself Deck 42 Trek reviewer. I mean, just saying that I don't get that. The Prime Directive. Let me zoom in here. All right. So we have Because Quantum. We have Hailing Frequencies. And then we have Technobabble. Now, one thing that I would ask Bird, assuming you're still here, Bird, is how hard is it going to be to set up a poll at antitrekker.com to get this voted on? Let's see. Antitrekker is no lowly captain. He's an admiral. Okay. Chief Cook says, read my last comment. I hate when you guys do that, because it's not like I could just scroll back. If I could just type in, go to his last comment, that'd be easy. But I don't see it. And now I'm going to be lost in all these comments, Chief. No, I can't find it. So that's why you got to, sorry, buddy. Let's see. Quantum Bubble, Technobabble, got Technobabble. Crawford and Son. Don't pull my beard off or I will fart. That's an interesting name, but no. Is the last Turdite. I'm not going to call myself the last Turdite. Cornucopia Anomaly. How about the Anti-Trekker? A couple people suggested that. Bare Naked Klingons. It's a discovery. Oh, no. Rise of the Sky Turd. Try Angry Trekker. Angry Trekker, I could see it working for a channel, but it wouldn't describe me very well. Even though I do get angry. There's a reason I'm anti. Let's see. Hailing Drequencies Technobabble. Star Wars is dead. Sorry to see it go. I honestly, me too. Did you watch the Disneyland fight on YouTube? No, I forgot to. I will. Let me look that up while we're talking, and I will bring it up on a. Let's see. Fight at Disneyland. I assume, was it the fight in Toontown? So, looks like a family, not sure what they're fighting over. And everybody's just kind of standing around. Okay. Let's see. Anti-soy Trekker. Use easypolls.net. How about Anti-Trekker Odyssey? How does that work? Let's see. Neither Ryan Johnson or Kathleen Kennedy should get work after Last Jedi. Don't you love how corporate lefties will always fail up? I know. Fat Thor light face. I like Fat Thor. Wow. Fat Thor Light Phaser, or FTL for short. Fat Thor Light Phaser. Luke, that's horrible. Anyone can make a poll in general discussion. Okay, I didn't know that, Bird. Call yourself Beta Quadrant. I don't know. Mercer, it's not bad, but I don't think it quite has the ring of quantum, hailing frequencies, or technobabble. The Jim Beam Me Up time. A random phoenix decided to come make itself comfortable on my lap. Well, that would be awfully painful, wouldn't it? Because aren't phoenixes made of flames? How about SOB Trekker? Well, that would be BIRDOPREY, and you know, every video should start with him going, "Son of a bitch!" Use easypolls.net. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that, but it looks like we can do it in just right in the Anti-Trekker website. Anti-Soy Trekker. SLALB for slightly less angry Lewis Black. Well, depending on what I was doing, I'm getting more angry than Lewis Black. Welcome to the suburb of Kuroga. I'm Governor Anti-Trekker, paid for by BIRDOPREY 5. Bicentennial Trekkie. Wow, I'm not that old. Fart Trek. Has anyone suggested 10 forward? No, nobody has suggested 10 forward. Let me, Rudy Yard, I'm going to take a look and see. Hold on, because what I've been doing is, with some of these suggestions, looking to see, as I'm trying to adjust things on my computer, sorry, looking to see if there's a lot of channels with a name like that. So let's put 10 forward. And we go to channels. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A bunch of 10 forward channels. Mostly small, but I see like there's one with 5,700 subscribers. So I wouldn't want to step on their toes, honestly. How about the Kling Org? The Kling org. No. Anti-Tracker, I sent you a package, Bird, and I sent you a package, Bird and Trekker Show. Well, the Bird and Trekker Show would be great if me and Joe were co-hosting something. Down with Kuroga, starring Michael J. Crawford. No, replace the anti-checker with AT's Nerd Community. I could see something like that, Mike. That's not bad. Watch it. It's hilarious. I'll check out the full fight later, but yeah. How about BIRDOPREY 1? Somebody suggested something like that earlier, DJ, but no. Let's see. What about Anti-Checker Reacts? No. Let's see. The Anti-Quantum. But I'm not anti-quantum. Starship Quantum. Turdy's Playhouse. You could have a word of the day like Pee-wee's Playhouse. The Quantum continues. Fresh Trekker of Bel Air. Wow. What about Starship Bloopers? Well, that's not too bad. The Entered Prize. Careful with the Toontown video. The video owner has been copyright striking everyone. Gotcha. I know it's horrible. That was the point. Yeah, the Fat Thor, what was it? Light phaser. That's mean. Call yourself, put away your butcher knives, and let me save this patient. That's kind of a long title. Antimatter Reaction Chamber. Problem is, that sounds too much like Doomcock's Reactor Room. Space in a galaxy far, far away. Oh, man. Oh. Night Breeze is taking off, says have a good day. Thank you, Night Breeze. I appreciate you dropping by. I'm going to be wrapping up in a little bit because I am really having trouble focusing on anything. Darren says, get off my lawn. Continuum Trek says, Red D? Wesley likes 10 Forward. 10 Forward's not bad, but like I said, there's a channel called 10 Forward, and that person has about 5,700 subs. And I will tell you, if I started the Anti-Trekker channel, I built it up to 5,700 subs, and then some larger channel changed their name to the Anti-Trekker, I would have been really pissed. I'm not going to step on somebody like that. Now, if somebody has, a half a dozen subs and they don't have any good content, then I don't care. But if they're putting out, they're really working on building their brand and everything, I'm not going to ruin that for them. Wrath of Trekker. How about Starship Moreville? As long as it's not Cold Discovery, it should be fine. Okay. Asgardians were never short of excuses to get drunk. That is very true. 10 backwards. 10 backwards. Wow, that's an interesting one. So I'll actually put that on the list. Angry Red Shirt. You could die in different ways at the end of every episode, like Kenny in South Park. Continue. Do you know how hard that would be to actually keep going after the first few episodes? The Bearded Harpy. I don't think Mecha would appreciate me calling myself the Bearded Harpy. How about Play on Words, the original series or TOSer? Well, then I would have to, but you see, here's what I don't want to change my name. I still want to be able to call myself the Anti-Trekker, and Anti will still be Anti. However, the channel can be the forum in which Anti-Trekker is. That's why I like things like Because Quantum, Hailing Frequencies, Technobabble, stuff like that, because it's describing the channel, not describing me. The Hard to Focus channel, TJ, that gets a Google salute, my friend. Neutral Zone Trekker. The Neutral Zone could be an interesting one because I do try to be as neutral as possible with stuff. So I kind of like Neutral Zone or the Neutral Zone. So I'm going to put that on the list. Wesley says, yeah, respect other channels. Yeah, I don't want to screw somebody just because I want to change my name. So I'm not going to hurt another channel doing that. Tennessee Turd. Stop. The Briar Patch. Crawford and Crawford show. Well, except that little Crawford doesn't come on the show that often, and Mrs. Anti-Trekker doesn't come on the show that often. So yeah. And that would only apply to live streams. Keep in mind that for my regular shows, they almost never show up. Takes bottle with me and drinks the last drop in front of Thanos and smashes it over his big purpley head. You suggesting that's a name, or are you just saying that's what you want to do? Because that's kind of weird. The channel from and for nerds that can't read very well. Tribble Hunt. LGBT channel for Legends, Gates, Babylon 5, and Trek. Yeah, that would not go over well. Call yourself Cramps, a play on Gramps, and play on what Bones said Gilligan had. Or Gillian had. Oh, yeah, because she had cramps. That's kind of mean. Anti-May naked. What? Pain in the back. Well, I'm hoping, Darth, that because I go in on the 25th of this month, they're going to do a series of injections on my back, and I'm hoping that pain will suddenly be reduced. If you change names, don't use spaces or hyphens. Okay, why is that? I'm curious. Why? The turd continuum, says Mr. Captain. Also, bring a bag of bottles supposed to be for recycle. Here, Thanny boy. Wow, you guys, that's just interesting. Just go with Spinning Spock. Well, the problem is that that's not me, though. If I call the channel Spinning Spock, how does that make any sense? Hey, Spinning Spock time. I'm anti-trekker because I'm not Spinning Spock. The angry middle-aged white dude. That's a good way to get my channel shut down. Let's summarize it. You need a short name which hints at Star Trek, yet a memorable and easily recognizable name. Yes. And so far what we have on the official list to be voted on is Because Quantum, Hailing Frequencies, Technobabble, 10 Backwards, and The Neutral Zone. I do like all of those. Not that it matters, but the 10 Forward channel hasn't posted a new video for at least a year. Well, that does matter in that if they've given up on it and they haven't posted a video in a year, then I would be more willing to use the name. But I would say that would be a write-in candidate because there is a significant channel there. Quantum Disco and hi everybody. Hey Joseph. Not that it matters. I already read that. Plus has to have at least one word neutral enough to be engaging to any nerd. Yes, Luke, you're summing it up about how difficult it is to come up with a good name. I'd like to do that, Ed Trekker. Gotcha, Peter. Trekkerman shows. Corbomite Intruder. Interesting. Vulcan Turd Pinch, Toilet Slam, Captain Spangler. That's a little specific, don't you think? Valhalla Technobabble. Turds and Tribulations, the Steve Shives clips. Yeah, I'm not going to name my channel after another channel. Jerry Springer in space. Spinning Spock, number 23. Like, that's the name? Okay. And Rock Solid says pigs in space, because why not? V'ger. Mr. Cat says, call your channel Fish Tank. The problem with Fish Tank, I kind of like that because obviously, I show the Fish Tank a lot. I do like that, and it fits the live streams, but it doesn't fit the non-live stream videos because I almost never show my Fish Tank except for during live streams. So far, I'm digging Because Quantum and the Neutral Zone. I'm liking both of those as well. Darth Maul says, praying for your health. Thank you, Darth Maul. I do truly appreciate it. Has anyone suggested the Escape Pod? No! That's not bad either. I'm going to write that on the list. I actually like that. How about Quantum Wave or All Good Things? All Good Things is too specific to an episode. Quantum Wave, I could kind of see, but I think Because Quantum rings better than Quantum Wave. You are wasting valuable time. You should be battling BIRDOPREY in some game or another. I know, Hector, I would if I was able right now, but I tell you, I can barely read the comments and keep up. 10 backwards sounds better than 10 backwards. Plural. Oh, 10 backward sounds better than 10 backwards. Yeah, you're right. And actually it should be because it's 10 forward, not 10 forwards. So thank you for pointing that out. The Escape Podcast. Ooh, that's actually not bad either. So I'm going to put that as like an asterisk. so that we could do that as well. Channel on the Edge of Forever. Again, that's referring to a very specific episode. We don't want to get that specific into it. Assimilate this, same kind of thing, obviously. Do what the EMH did, call it Joe. You're on the Trekker Show. Prince Waspinator. Bird? No. Number 1, number 2, and number 23. What happened to Shives? Is he still escaping towards the stars? Yes. Love Island. That's a little creepy. 10 Forward looks like a clickbait channel. I haven't checked it out. Turd Hestan. Balance of Trekker. Unimatrix 23. I kind of like that one. Sounds like the title included in the word. Sound the channel title. Should the channel title include the word the? That's another one that, like, some people say yes, some people say no. Like my channel, honestly, if I was called the Anti-Trekker versus Anti-Trekker, would it make a big difference? Probably not, but I think that putting the in front of it, I would probably try to keep it to not doing it unless it really needed to. Like, for example, Neutral Zone versus the Neutral Zone, right? I think the Neutral Zone sounds better than Neutral Zone. However, if you were to say Escape Pod versus the Escape Pod, or Escape Podcast versus the Escape Podcast, I don't think the helps it all that much. USOB Trekker. Wow. Let's see. Use the code Kirk gave for self-destruction on the Enterprise. What, 000 destruct 0? That's Turbo Shaft 31. The Enterprise boat. Because Quantum is led so far, followed by the Neutral Zone, assuming it is not already taken, and Technobabble, the Escape Podcast 10 backward. But Luke is already trying to take a poll here. Wow. All right, so Shields Up. Shields Up is an action, not a place, though. The Nerdy Quadrant, I kind of like that. Hollow Turd. Interesting. Quantum Zone with the neutral Technobabble tagline. Wait, the Neutral Zone. Yes, Scientific. We actually already have the Neutral Zone on the list. Have a great day, everyone. All right, Chris, take care of yourself. Turd Fleet Command. Interesting one. How about Trek Bug? That's kind of weird. As in Star or Love Bug. Have Worf voice Anti-Trekker. You have an incoming message. What about the exit prize? The Epic Bird says this refers to there can be only one. Your beard does? Okay. Red Dwarf and Herbie the Car, both geeky, that's true. The Phaser Bank. You know, that would actually be, you know, that's something they should have done on Futurama, where, like, if he goes to the bank, call it the Phaser Bank. All right, so I am going to wrap it up here, guys, but thank you for the great suggestions. I'm going to now have to figure out how to build a poll on the website, and I'll put out a video saying go to the poll, and we'll get a vote going and find out what people think. And in the meantime, have an awesome whatever the hell it is, and thank you for putting up with me. And no, I'm not going to go full clickbait, Luke. Not going to go clickbait. I am not that bad. Not yet. Not yet. Why didn't it play right? Stupid thing. All right. Credits. Let me get problem. There.